Hi, welcome to the F1 Time Portal, a Formula One history podcast started by two Formula One geeks. I'm your host, Rosa.
And I'm your rocket man, Luigi. And today we're taking you back to the 1972 season. So let's go.
Rocket Man. I know, that's that guy. That's the piano. That's Elton John.
No.
Close,
though.
No.
No, you're right. No, I was thinking, you got me, you've made me second guess myself because I was thinking David Bowie, but no, you're right. It is Elton John.
It's Elton John. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's very much a David Bowie sort of song.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And they collaborated a bit too.
It's of the era. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So.
All right. 72, Louis. Oh, my gosh. This is my birth year. Oh, no, now people know how old I am.
I know, yeah. I was actually thinking to myself because my birth year is the following year, which is 73. So I wish I had 72 as my birth year because it's easier to work out numbers when it's even numbers. Odd numbers are always tricky for me. So I regret 73, but I at least appreciate what happened to Formula One in 73.
Interesting.
That's a giveaway. A little giveaway if you know me well.
Little giveaway. Yeah. Okay.
So we start this 72 season with no startling drama in relation to driver transfers or new cars.
Interesting. And actually it's a bit boring. It's not interesting at all. But we're going to talk about sponsorship though, because the biggest change was that BRM had secured substantial backing from none other than Marlboro. That's the first we hear of a No. Is that the first cigarette company? No,
I don't think it's the first, but I think they're starting to ramp up their
Gold Leaf was the first cigarette, wasn't it?
That was with
Lotus. Yeah.
So the Yardley BRM era is over. And my memories of Yardley is that they're a soap company, right?
Yes. So they've moved from soap to cigarettes. I wonder which one is more cashed up.
Yeah. Well, we know the answer to that, but not all of us smoke, but nearly all of us wash our hands after going to the toilet. So
what do you mean nearly all of us? All of us should be doing that. But yes, this new sponsorship deal had some major ambitions. They plan to run, Luigi, a 6-car team.
Yeah, that is crazy. BRM are always biting off more than they can chew. The H16 engine and now too many cars,
Well, in the end, their 72 car wasn't going to be ready and they didn't want to go all in with 6 drivers on their 71 car. So they didn't go in with 6 drivers, but we do see some races where they have 3 drivers.
Yeah, and I think we can confidently say that we and BRM dodged a bullet with that pivot back to a normal team structure at the beginning.
Yes, but even with 3 cars, because they had 6 drivers ready, they're always constantly shuffling the drivers around. So I can imagine that it just hurt the morale of the drivers. Like, am I in this race? Why am I driving this race?
Yeah, number 1, 2 or 3. And their 12 engine was producing less power in 72 versus 71.
Oh, gosh.
So welcome back, BRM. And for those Facebook people who text bashed me for trying to promote this podcast on the hollowed ground that is their Facebook page, this is your just desserts.
Okay. Easy. Enough about BRM. We are talking about them a lot.
Yeah, because that's not that. I mean, if that's not the most dramatic of all changes, because there are some other material changes that we should talk about, like Matra. And Matra did the opposite of BRM. They focused their efforts on just one car, and that was for New Zealander driver Chris Amon. So while they had a good year and perhaps nearly won a race, it would be announced that this would be the last year for the French team.
Oh, not sure how I feel about that. I mean, they won with Tyrrell in 69 and now they're already out. That's big. Not sticking around at all.
Yeah, it's like when Tyrrell was using that Matra car with that Matra engine and won convincingly in 69, it shows you that customer teams are not necessarily disadvantaged versus the factory teams. And we've seen so many examples of that. And I think the best example of history, I would suggest, is the 2010s to 2013 era when Red Bull dominated the Constructors and the Drivers' Championship with the Renault engine, and the Renault team were nowhere to be seen.
Nowhere near him, were they?
So, and what about Ferrari? I hear you asking, Rosa.
Yes, you do, in my head. What about Ferrari?
So I open with Mike Lang's words. Fortunately, another of Enzo Ferrari's occasional threats to withdraw failed to materialise.
Well, he's consistent. I'll give him that. And he likes throwing his weight around. What was he going to withdraw for this time?
I don't remember. Do you remember?
No, I don't remember.
Yeah. But anyway, they undertook a range of technical changes through the year. So they didn't, luckily, of course. And in an attempt to improve reliability and road handling, there's not much more to report about them, to be honest.
Well, reliability killed them in 71. Like, how many races in the end there were they right up there and then both cars just stopped? So good on Enzo for not withdrawing and for attempting to improve reliability. So that's good. Good on you, Enzo. Over to Tyrrell, they started 72 with their dominant 71 model. By July, they revealed their new Tyrrell 005. Not too different than what their current model is. And they stuck with their 71 champion driver Stewart and Frenchman Savert. Why would you change when you got your champion in your team?
Yeah, and I think the champion wanted to stay with them too because they were a good team. Yeah, so good strong lineup there for Tyrrell. And consistency really helps teams, doesn't it? Helps everything. Helps businesses, helps teams, helps everything. The Lotus team had a key change in sponsorship too, but more impressive than the BRM one, to be honest, because it was with none other than the black and gold John Player Special. And that would remain with that team right up to Senna joining the team in the mid-'80s. And I think they had that black and gold until 1986. So here we see it starting in 1972. Yeah, because in 87 they went with the camel yellow.
Yeah, okay, yes.
Lotus, so back to 72, their driver pairing was still Emmerson Fittipaldi and another driver. I'll say his name. I'll say his name out of due respect, Dave Walker.
Yes.
But,
is he Australian, Dave Walker, or not?
I don't think so. He could be, but not that I recall. Yeah.
I'll have to look that up while you're talking later. And McLaren showed that one team's loss is another team's gain, as they were the recipient of the Yardley sponsorship. I wonder if their card looked like a big bulbous tube as well. Probably not, because the cars are different now. And their cars were driven by Dennis Holm and Peter Revson.
Okay. I'm looking up Dave Walker, and the reason why I was pausing and saying his name, and I don't think this is giving too much away, but he doesn't get any points.
Yeah, poor Dave. But is he Australian?
I don't know. I have to look in another section. Can you look it up now? It's your turn to look up now.
I'm looking him up. I'm now looking.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was going to say that Lotus were persevering with their Lotus 72 with adaptions. I know you just talked about McLaren, but I thought I'd just flag that. I should have mentioned that earlier about Lotus.
Yes, he's Australian.
He is Australian.
Yes.
You know why we know his name? Because he's the F1 race organizer for many, many years.
Oh, there you go.
So we know him as an old dude.
Yeah. Hey, you know who else, Louis? I'm going to take a little bit of a sidebar here because we do talk about Vern Schupan.
Yes.
Driving in this season. And in my very first job, I worked with a Trevor Schupan. And
interesting. Yeah.
He was related to Vern Schupan. He talked about Vern all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So when I saw the name, I was like, oh, wow, because, that my first job, now that everyone knows how old I am, was quite some time ago. You don't remember all these little things, but the name just rang a bell. So there you go, Vern
Wow,
Schupan.
there you
I wonder if
go.
he was like where he was from. I'll have to
Is he Aussie? I think he might be
yes,
Aussie.
he's Australian too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I knew Schupan I was pretty certain Schupan was Aussie, but Dave Walker, no. Other than, that's right, he's the one that signs those opening letters in the
Yes.
magazines,
Yeah. Oh, so Vern Schupan was born in South Australia, in the Boolaroo Centre in South Australia.
There you go.
So there you go. Wow.
One of our own from our own state even.
Yes,
So, yeah.
exactly. Yes. Anyway, on to
Okay.
more interesting news.
What else is going on?
What else is going on?
Yeah, well, for the second year race running, Motor Racing Developments changed ownership. They will tell you what that is, because Ron Toronak sold out his team, which was the Brabham team.
Yeah, the Brabham team, yeah.
To Mr. Bernie Eccleston.
Yeah, I think we mentioned this last season. We said Bernie Eccleston bought. I think it was in the mix from last year, but I think it all went through this year. But yeah, the Mr. Formula One himself, he's finally acquired his own team. This is him taking over Formula One team by team.
Yes, step by step. He stays in this role for quite some time before he steps out and does his boss move. But this is step one boss move. So, yeah. So Eccleston actually changed the traditional turquoise colours of Brabham to white.
And they were being led by Graham Hill, and we know this name, Louis. I know this name. So, and rookie Carlos Reutemann.
Yeah. So that's a big name, isn't it? Some of the debuts of big names.
Yeah, and some appearances were also made by Wilson Fittipaldi, which was Emerson's older brother.
Yes, and we'll talk more about that soon. Yeah.
Yes, we'll talk more about that later.
Yeah, so the March team was notable as Lauda had now bought his way into the team and was driving alongside Ronnie Peterson.
Yeah, but they still have that strange front wing car from 71. It looks a little bit more streamlined this year. I've put a picture of it in our notes, Louis. Like the front wing doesn't stick up as much. Maybe it's just a perspective. Oh, I just realised I've put the model car picture on our notes.
Yeah, I noticed that.
But it's still weird, that stupid wing out the front. I don't know how long that will last, or how long Lauda and Peterson want to be in a team with that thing on there.
But didn't that stupid team with that wing, or no, stupid wing you said, win a race last? It won a race.
Yeah, it did. It won one race. Yeah, it did.
Yeah, okay.
I think Peterson, was it Peterson who did it?
Yeah, it would have been Peterson. I think so, yeah. So we don't talk about all the teams, only the material ones, but I will mention that Frank Williams had his first car built for his sponsor, the Italian Politoys company, and let's see if we notice them this year.
Interesting. Lots of safety changes too, Louis, with 6-point harnesses now mandatory, mainly due to Rince accident, if you remember that. That was about seat belting. Safety foam now needed to line the fuel tanks. A red light had to be mounted at the rear end of the car, and there had to be an automatic fire extinguisher in the car. So I think it got triggered once something happened, like if something... I read about it, but it was like boring. So, and it's technical, and that's not us. And interestingly, it's taken 22 years, but the first driver's code of conduct was published.
I think, we're going to say this, but I'm writing this down. I want to go through that book, and I think that's got special episode written all over it.
I know. I wonder if it.
I'm so eager to dig into that and see how many of our drivers of today would fail that code of conduct.
Yes, I agree.
That is fascinating. I can't wait to read that. Yeah, and it's probably, when you consider today's, it's probably not called a code of conduct, but something or other about the drivers. They can't run each other off the road and all this sort of stuff. You can't do more than 2 weaves on a straight. That book is probably 100 pages. Yes. And I'm making a bet this code of conduct is less than 10.
I was going to say 5. Yes, I
You're
agree.
5?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm going 5.
I was saying 10A5.
Yeah, okay.
So-
I wonder if we can get our hands on it.
I'm sure if we Google it,
Yeah.
maybe
Okay.
what we'll do between this episode and the next episode,
Yes,
we'll pause,
we'll have a look
quickly,
at it.
just look up the number of pages, and then
Yes.
we'll decide in that 5 minutes whether we want to do an episode on it or not.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
it sounds hilarious.
Yes.
Okay. So up to race 1 of 12. This is the Argentinian Grand Prix. It's at Buenos Aires. The 23rd of Jan, 95 laps, a lot of laps. And the temperature, as I think is normally the case at this time of year there, is very hot. So this is our first race in Argentina in 12 years.
That was mainly because of political issues, and there were big changes. The facilities were improved. There were guardrails all around the track, and other safety features as well.
Yeah. And as most of the teams had the same drivers as the previous year, and as this race was in January, many used cars from 71 still, although they did look different because of sponsorship and other livery changes like Brabham, for example.
So BRM, Luigi, your favourite out there team, fielded 5 cars for this race.
Yeah.
So they did try it, but they'd made little impression on the front row or even in the first day of practice, because Ickx in the Ferrari led the first day of practice, followed by Holm in the McLaren, Stewart in the Tyrrell and Andretti in the Ferrari.
The real excitement took place on Saturday in the final practice because F1 debutant Reutemann in his Brabham Ford set a blistering time of 1 minute 12.46 to actually take pole position.
Even Jackie Stewart, our defending champ and double champ, couldn't beat it, and he lined up second.
Yeah, this is an awesome effort by this young Argentinian at his home track with all the pressure and the attention. So assuming this was a great effort by him, and must be the Brabham, right? So where was his teammate Graham Hill?
Well, I had to count all the way down the list. He's 16th.
That's sad because Graham Hill probably signed to that team assuming he would be the team leader.
I know.
He's this rookie.
Yeah.
And the rookie gets pole and he gets 16th. Yeah. So, yeah, in the end, we had Stewart second, as you mentioned, Rosa in the Tyrrell, then Mervson in the McLaren, Holm in the McLaren, Fittipaldi in the Lotus, and Regazzoni in the Ferrari, then the rest.
So on race day, the crowd was there for one thing only, because I don't know if we've mentioned it, but Reutemann's Argentinian.
I have mentioned it, yeah.
So, yeah, they want to see Reutemann get off the line and take the race on.
Yeah, and he didn't disappoint because when the flag fell, Reutemann made an excellent start. However, Stewart made an even better start.
Oh, can I just interrupt that excitement and talk about a strange event that happened? Walker's BRM stopped out on the circuit due to a jam throttle, and it was because of a lot of dust that was kicked up and other things. I think Hill was involved in an accident. I didn't put it all in here because it was like too long. But yeah, his car stopped on the circuit and he was later disqualified for using tools not carried in the car after having to run back to the pits for repairs.
Well, just quickly, he's in the Lotus, not the BRM. But what does that mean? He tried to fix his own car, though. I mean, well,
I'm
with
more
tools
confused.
from the pits.
Yes.
Yeah.
But so I'm more confused with the fact that cars, like drivers, could carry tools in their car to fix problems. Like, who would do that?
Is that the Jack Brabham, Dan Gurney rule?
Maybe.
they're the ones that I recall that would do it.
Yes,
you know?
exactly. They're the only ones that would do it. Like, that is so random. And like, which driver would run back to the pits to get the tools to fix their own car? Why don't they just drive their car to the pits for the mechanics to fix it?
It's such a safety hazard. I mean, if there's a tool in their car and it gets out of their holding mechanism, then there's tools running around at the bottom of the pit wall, bottom of the driver's space, whatever you call that.
Yes, the cockpit. Yeah, very weird. Anyway, sorry, back to the race.
Yeah. So back to the excitement. Stewart was now in the lead. Reutemann was really hounding him and showing strong signs of trying to overtake him. And for 7 glorious laps, Reutemann hounded Stewart.
I'm guessing the term glorious is Mike Lang's. Given your love for Stewart, you wouldn't be thinking it was glorious.
Yes, but I'm surprised he's using it for a non-British driver. So
that's true. Yes.
Yeah, unless he meant it was glorious that Stewart was holding him off.
Maybe. Yes, that's a good point, actually.
Yeah. So on lap 8, Fittipaldi in his Lotus eventually roared past Reutemann to take second place, and Holm in his McLaren pushed Reutemann down to fourth place because Reutemann was starting to have tyre issues.
Okay. And Fittipaldi was now strongly challenging Stewart's lead, but he could only get to within 2 seconds and then he kept falling back.
Yeah, so interesting because by lap 30, and remember this is a 95-lap race, Fittipaldi was now about 5 seconds behind Stewart, so he fell away a bit, with Holm in third and who was a few further seconds back from Fittipaldi.
This is still really close, like just a minor error, as we've seen in previous championships, by any of these drivers can just change the whole dynamic of the race and who's winning. And great driving from Fittipaldi.
Yeah.
Remember, this is only his second year?
Yeah, he's a young gun.
Yeah.
I mean, he was in 70.
So his third year. This is his third year.
Early third year, yes. And remember, he spent a lot of 71 wasting time on that gas car.
Yes, that's right. And he was injured.
Car.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So further back, there were a range of retirements, and the coolest being that Andretti in the Ferrari was black flagged for having flames appearing from his exhaust pipes.
Oh, that would have been very cool. Yes. This was, of course, before the time we inserted skid plates to give artificial sparks. So this was an actual fire coming out of his exhaust.
An actual cool thing, not a fake cool thing.
That's right.
So back to the front though, by lap 35, Stewart was starting to pull away from Fittipaldi, and then Holm overtook him into second place as Fittipaldi's car started having gear selection issues.
Reutemann was also starting to struggle as this was a very hot day and his tyre choice was wrong and was generating too much heat, which meant he had to stop on lap 45 for new tyres. While he dropped 10 places, there were a range of other retirements that meant he wasn't as far back as he would have been.
Yeah, and motivation, adrenaline, home track.
Yes.
So the race was now in a holding pattern, with the major excitement being the battle for fifth between the Ferraris of Ickx and Regazzoni and the march of Peterson.
It's a bit sad that we're looking at the major excitement for fifth, Luigi. But anyway, these three drivers were having a range of their own problems, including gears jumping out, smoking engines, and blocked radiator grills. So, they kept switching and taking time out. But they were not happy.
Yeah, and let's not forget, back in those days, there was no team radio. There was no commentators to let us know these drivers were juggling these problems. So to the crowd, it was all exciting and close. And then afterwards, we found out I was doing this, I was doing that.
Yes.
So towards race end, Stewart was in total control as Holm was by late race driving without a clutch, which I didn't think you could do that for very long.
No.
And should I do a little session there on what a clutch is?
No.
and Holm finished nearly 30 seconds back in second place. Fittipaldi unfortunately retired towards the end, which meant that Ickx in the Ferrari finished third, 60 seconds behind Stewart, and Regazzoni was fourth.
We barely heard about the Ferraris this race, yet they bagged third and fourth. Not bad.
Yeah, and I wonder Rosa, we talked about 71, the in Rabbit's ears, team orders.
Yes.
And number one, I wonder if that was a contrived finish as well. I don't know.
Yeah, possibly. I would say Ickx would have wanted it that way.
I think every driver would have wanted it that way. He probably said, look, I've got the cooler name.
Yeah, especially Ickx. Look at my name.
Yeah, come on. What are you going to sell more of? With my name on the poster or Regazzoni's name on the poster? His name will compete with the brand you're trying to sell.
That's right.
It's too long. Yeah. So anyway, Reutemann managed to climb back up to 7th after that disaster pit stop session he had to do, but he was 2 laps behind Stewart. And it makes you wonder what he may have achieved if he had made a different tyre choice.
Yeah. Strong start, though, from defending champion Stewart. He's now, he's on 9 points. Denny Holmes on 6 and Jackie Ickx is on 4. And the Tyrrell Ford is on 9. McLaren Ford is on 6 and Ferrari is on 4.
Yeah, okay, pretty close.
Oh, we might leave it there, Louis. We did a big intro and the first race. We might take a break and come back for part 2 of 1972.
Okay, see you next time.
Okay, bye.
Bye.